What is up YouTube, and welcome back to another 7 Nights Rebirth video. It's been a while since I made one, but I will be making more in the near future just because I've been kind of busy with some other stuff, as you guys probably know. But today we're talking about Advent Expedition. Everyone has been asking me, am I going to make a guide for it? And I actually didn't start hitting it until today. And you're going to see that I'm currently at the 9 mil reward with still 2 hits left as of recording this. So you can see that I'm going to get the max rewards. Now I'll be doing one boss at a time because it is going to be pretty hard to do all of them in one video. But I'll show you guys Tio, which is what I think is the easiest one to hit. I think the second easiest one is going to be Yunhee, which is what my guild is focusing on because it's just easy to score high. And on top of that, the gear that you actually get from Tios and Yunhees is just going to end up being the best options. I think Kyle and Karma, these gears are going to be way more situational. You can see they're kind of like the blocks and stuff like that, which are good, but the odds of you getting that block set are pretty low, and the health set's not that great, and then Orchestrator's good, but kind of niche. But you'll see with Yunhee and Tio, they'll drop the damage sets, which are very, very good, and also Spellweaver, which is also amazing for PvP. So, Tio and Yunhee I think are the ones you're going to want to hit. So I'll show you guys my rotation and how I actually tackle Tio here. So the team that I actually use, and you do want to eventually aim for 10 mil damage because it does give you the max rewards. This is the team that I actually use here. So the first team, you're going to want to use this setup. I don't really think you can switch out a lot of characters. I guess you can switch out, something for another healer, but the only slot you can technically switch out is going to be Miho for like Velika. Miho's here just to apply magic vulnerability, but Velika also has it as well, I believe, so you can use Velika instead if you don't actually have Miho built, because she does have it on her Apparitions of Darkness. But I'm going to be using Miho here just because I have her at higher stats and higher dupes. Now, in terms of how you want to spell queue, this is what I recommend. You don't want Biscuit to skill first. You want her to do it second because Tio reduces buff durations, as you guys probably know because you have him. So this way it'll be that you don't lose duration on your damage buff from Biscuit on your Pascal, which is very important. But the other slots, they're basically just here for buffing. We have Kyriel with her magic damage passive, and we also have Ariel for her magic damage boost. So Kyriel, Ariel, just buffing here. In terms of how fast you can kill, my team kills in 32 turns. Your team might kill faster if you have more damage. I don't really know if it's possible to kill faster without extremely insane gear on your Pascal, but if it takes you a bit longer, it's okay. As long as you aim for 1 mil, I think. So as long as you kill the first boss, you should be fine in collecting your rewards. So I'll show you guys the gear and stats very quickly on my characters in case you want to see them. I don't want this video to take forever, but I don't have the craziest gear. In fact, you probably want a boss damage ring if you can, but you just want your Pascal to be as strong as possible, basically, and everything else doesn't really matter. You just want everything else to be just very tanky, because the first team should be the easiest one. Pascal should be able to just solo DPS it. Kyriel, you can put her on a tank set as well. She's not going to really do any damage at all. She's just here to buff. But these are the stats, and for the pet, you want to have a magic damage pet. Yunji is the best one. If you don't have Yunji, you can also use Note, which is going to be this guy over here. Also gives a magic damage boost. So that is my first team. I do have the spell queue like this, like I showed you. The second team is where it gets a bit more interesting. There's a lot more flexibility in how you want to build your characters. But yeah, before I start that, I want to make a note though. Pascal has 0% crit rate because I have him at T6. If you don't have him at T6, it's going to be really hard to score very high, but you want to make sure you get him to 100% crit rate on his nuke. So if you don't have him T6, you'll want 50% crit rate. And of course, you want that weakness hit chance to hit 100% with Biscuit buff, so you're doing as much damage as possible. So for Team 2, your main DPS is Yuri. You do have a crit rate boost on herself. She's going to be just really self-sustainable because she also has to revive at T6. I have her on Avenger set. You just want to aim for just max crit rate and as much crit damage. Even though I'm not at the cap, I will be reaching the cap with my pet, which is what I'm using here. Dello. So Dello does give crit rate, so just make sure Yuri with her passive and with external sources is at 100% crit rate. you can ignore weakness hit chance because it's really hard to hit crit rate and weakness hit chance cap. You can go for it, but I found that it was pretty hard on my setup, so I didn't. But if you make it work, good for you. Now for the other slots, the 3 important characters are Yuri, of course, as your main DPS. Then you want Lina. You want her to be here to give you the damage boost and also heal your team. Pretty much required. She also will do defense reduction, which is going to be very nice at one point of the fight. You also want Espada as your mandatory 3rd slot. The reason why is you want this magic vulnerability, so your Yuri does way more damage, and also you get this Goddess's Judgment damage. Now keep in mind, you will have to go for more crit rate if you want this to be more consistent. I just didn't swap my gear off Ox King and I can almost hit 2 mil, but the reason why is because you're not getting this purified magic stacked, so you aren't getting that crit rate buff onto her. So you have to keep that in mind, but you know, basically she's just on a full damage setup. Everyone else can just be on a full tank setup on this team. Now for the 4th and 5th spot, so if you have Yunny, you definitely want to bring her for this magic attack boost. Very, very good to have. She's not going to really do that much damage because Tio takes less damage from 2 target attacks and also 4 target attacks, so her basic attack doesn't do anything. In fact, you will only use her Eternal Slumber maybe once in the fight, so not really important to build her on too much damage, but you're using her mostly for the buff. For the last slot here, I have Vanessa just for that defense reduction. Honestly, you can bring whatever to buff your damage. This slot doesn't really matter, just anything works. Vanessa's not going to do anything in this fight besides just stand there. So that is pretty much the team. I'll show you guys the queue. You want to do Espada, Magic Vulnerability into Lina, and then you want to do Yuri's bottom skill because her top skill will do more damage if you burn the target, and her bottom skill does a burn and also gives her a magic damage boost. So this is the setup that we're going for. Pretty simple, you know, I think I showed you guys the gear, but I'll show you guys once again if you want to look very quickly. But pretty simple, you're just going to go through it, and you want to pay very close attention to my skill queue. I don't know if it's the best one because people are still trying stuff out, but this is what I found to score me like 1.9 to 2 mil pretty consistently. So I'll show you guys the run. This is a real run, it's not a practice run, and I will be commentating over it. But basically, with the Tio fight, you want to start with Mio, like I said. Then you want to do Biscuit's ability. And then you want to do 2 of Pascal's abilities back to back. So you can see Biscuit goes here. Then my Pascal will do his single target nuke. And then after that, of course, we will refresh it. And then after you refresh it, you want to use it right away because you want to kill the boss as soon as you can. So after we do the reset, you'll do the nuke again, and then you can Q Miho's bottom skill once again. So you'll see here, Pascal will go into the boss. Miho's skill will come up. Tio's animations are very long. And then after Miho's skill, you want to do Pascal's nuke. So you can see, I think I said earlier, I do it in 32 turns, it'll be the same thing. So you do Pascal's, like this, and this should kill the boss. If it doesn't, you can do a few more auto attacks and it should kill. And then after this, after Tio dies, he reses, and you want to dispel his immortality off with Biscuit's top skill. So you can see he'll go here, and then Biscuit will go right after. In 32 turns, you can see Tio ends up falling. And then this is the second team, I'll show you. So you want to lead with Espada bottom skill, you can queue it up. And then you do Lina's skill, right, to buff my damage, and also apply defense reduction. Then I'll do Yuri's combo after, so Lina goes first, or Lina goes second after Espada, then the Yuri combo with the bottom skill into the top skill. And then after that, you want to do Espada's top skill right after to do even more damage, right? And get it on the cooldown. You'll only use this once anyways, so it doesn't really matter, but Yuri goes next. And then here you can do Espada's skill. If you need to heal right away, you can use Lina's heal first. But I like to do Espada first here, and then I do Lina's heal. Because my Espada does get low. And then after that, what I'll end up doing is we will do the Espada magic vulnerability down, and then into Yuri's combo once again. You might not think it'll come up in time, but like I said, Tio's animations are so long that it will come up in time. The buff duration reduction comes out. I'll do my burn. And then my Yuri will do her top skill here and do a lot of damage. And then for the last skill, you can just use, you know, your Yanni skill. Doesn't really matter. It's not going to do too much damage. But Espada skill doesn't come up in time, so Yanni goes, and you can see we do hit almost 2 mil once again. So that is basically how we do it. And I think now I did hit 10 mil, so I do get the max rewards, and I do have a few more hits left, a few more days to do as much damage to the bosses as possible. Now once you do hit 9 mil total on your cumulative score, you do end up getting a reward here because there's an event going on. You do get this summon ticket, so I do have it in my inventory. So let's actually open it right now. And I'm hoping to get something like a Amelia's okay, Taka's okay, Miho's okay, Ruri's okay, Chancellor's okay, Ballista's okay. Just some PvP characters or even some Castle Rush characters. Ooh, we end up getting Chancellor. Okay, that's my first copy. So I do get to use him in Guild Wars now. But yeah, pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe to see more 7 Nights content. And I'll see you guys next time.